We have a special guest today here at Shimmy Sports Talk. His name is Jason the Jet Terry, former NBA world champion of the Dallas Mavericks. Jason the Jet Terry. Thanks, appreciate you being here today, man.
Oh, man, you already know, BV. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, no doubt. Man, we're going to get into some questions. What started you in the game of basketball when you was young? Where you from, and what got you to fall in love with the game of basketball?
Well, I grew up in Seattle, Washington, and early on, elementary school, went in the PE class, and my first PE teacher was the great Seattle Sonic legend, Slick Watts.
Okay.
And so seeing him every day, he would come in. It wasn't no other sport we would play but basketball. So that's where I kind of got the love for the game. And, throughout my career, I'm known for wearing the headband. And that's a tribute to the great Slick Watts.
Yeah. About the socks, I noticed you wore your socks up too.
Nah, no doubt. Definitely rocked the high socks, 4 pair. And, that was a tribute to my pops. I used to always go to my grandma's house and look at his old yearbooks. And I would go look at his basketball high school pictures, and not only him but his teammates, they all rocked the high socks. I thought it was a cool look, and nobody else was doing it at the time, so I decided to make that part of my package.
Sweet. So how was your recruitment in high school and transition? I know you went to University of Arizona, played for Coach Lou Holtz. How was the transition? How was your recruitment at that time?
Yeah, being recruited, it was a great experience. As you know, being a former athlete yourself, it's a time in your life where, everybody is giving you attention and you're feeling like you're wanted and you're feeling valued. But again, it's a tough decision because, it's a decision that's going to impact you for the rest of your life. So, my mother was a single parent, but she raised 10 of us, and none of my other siblings were athletes.
Yeah.
So it was the first time she was going through that experience. But going around in the summer, playing on an AAU program that had many talented players, some that went on to play in the NBA, they were all being recruited. I wasn't a 5-star. I was more like a 3-star athlete out of Seattle. I was real skinny as a kid, but my God-given talent and ability was speed and quickness.
Yep.
So I was lightning fast. That's where I got the nickname the Jet later on in my career. But so at these tournaments, I'm literally picking up full court. I'm dogging guys. The guys that they're saying are 5 stars, McDonald All-Americans, I'm picking them up full court, dogging them in front of all the coaches. And, a couple coaches, I caught their attention. Some of them that aren't here today, John Thompson, was the guy that recruited me to Georgetown. Ricky Birdson, rest in peace, recruited me to Northwestern. Lute Olson, obviously, I ended up going to Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace, recruited me at Arizona. And then UCLA was also in the picture. Washington, because my family went to Washington. It's my hometown school. I was a vendor, selling popcorn, working concessions in the stadium, grew up. My cousin was an All-American football player that played for UW, and then my mom graduated from there. So, realistically, that's where I was supposed to go, and I actually verbally committed to go to the University of Washington, but took a trip to Arizona, and that trip forever changed my life.
Man, sweet. That's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Man, so we got the NIL now.
Yeah.
How, back when you was in college, how sweet and how great would that be having the NIL?
Think about this, you went to a Power 5, I went to a Power 5. We were big in basketball, you were big in football and basketball, and you could only imagine, being a college kid on campus and be able to make money off your name, image, and likeness when you knew the school was benefiting and making money off of you.
Yeah.
In '97, we were fortunate enough to win a national championship, and we know the school made millions of dollars. Not only the school, but the NCAA as well. And so, not being able to share into that pot, it's something that you look back on. But now these kids are doing it. And a lot of times, it's not you that directly benefit from the work that you put in or what you do and how you give back, but it's others. So it's great to see now that these young athletes, men and women, male and female, are benefiting off their name, likeness, and image because, I mean, it's only right. Like,
Yeah, it is, yeah.
you know, this isn't a dictatorship. I mean, these kids are out there putting their blood, sweat, and tears on the line every single night for a university that's benefiting off of them. And so now they should be able to do the same.
I think it's a great thing because, like you said, me being at the University of Oklahoma and colleges benefit a lot as far as your name and especially football, basketball, and making money. You playing in NCAA tournaments, things of that nature. So yeah, I think it's huge for these kids now. So still talking about the NIL. What do you think is the mindset of the kids that got a chance to go one and done, go pro? Do they go to college or do they try to go pro? Especially your top 5, top 10 kids in the country. What is their mindset at right now?
Well, I think, to speak for me, and everybody's going to have their different opinion, but obviously the value of a college education for me as an African-American male and having 5 daughters, it's invaluable. So going to school, and then if your dream is to become a professional athlete, there's other things that go along with that. So for me, college provides that. You can take economics class, you can take business courses, management courses, so that you can learn, when that money does come in, how do you manage that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those are valuable skills that you learn in college, and that if you don't go, then you're kind of learning on the fly, so to speak, and you're going to have trial and error. I mean, you can still go to college and still have those trials and error, but at least you'll have the knowledge. You'll have that information. And so that's why I value a college education. The other thing is the experience, the networking. I got a lot of friends that I went to college with that weren't athletes that are now successful businessmen in the tech world, doctors, lawyers. That's like a special type of fraternity that you go into, whatever college it is. I don't care what college it is in America. You're going to bond and forge those relationships, and those are relationships that are going to last a lifetime. And I just think, that experience alone, being on a college campus, being away from home, having to fend for yourself, having to be accountable, having to show up, being punctual, all those skill traits are core values that, when you start to become a father and a husband, that you're going to have to live by. And I think you gain those valuable skills in college.
Awesome. Gotcha. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Great answer. What's the difference of you playing in Arizona and you being a former assistant coach at the University of Arizona? What's the difference between the two?
Well, I think going in, I just had a different mindset, right? Because I've coached grassroots AAU level basketball for girls and boys for a long time, 15 years. So I've always been a coach in my off seasons while I was still playing. And so, I took it seriously. When I retired from the NBA, I was an assistant general manager with the Texas Legends. So I kind of learned the business side of basketball, but I was still able to be on the court and be hands-on and player development. And so I just felt for me to gain more coaching experience, let me go to the college level and see if I like it. Also coached high school girls in Dallas, and we won a state championship in my first year. So, coaching has always been a part of it. The X's and O's came natural to me. Being able to motivate young people that aspire to be something greater than what they are is something that comes natural. And then being able to go back to my alma mater and do it, it was a good feeling. It was a good feeling. Every day you walked in that gym, you seen your jersey hanging up in the rafters. Sweet. And then you had young men that looked up to you, that aspired to be where you were, where you had gone and done and take that journey. I mean, it was fun. It was fulfilling.
Nice.
And it was a tough decision for me to leave, but, I aspire to be a head coach at the Division I level, at the NBA level, and my next step in my growth and my development is being the head coach at the professional level. And that opportunity presented itself through a former teammate of mine. His name was Calvin Booth. He's now the general manager for the Denver Nuggets.
Sweet.
And he gave me my opportunity, man, and I'm ready to take full advantage of it. So I'm excited for what the future holds. But one thing about me, I'm a basketball lifer, but I'm all about people. Like my passion is people, and my purpose is to inspire the world. And so, you know, how can I do that? It's through ball. It's through coaching. It's through mentoring young people. And so that's why I always keep a special place in my heart for young people in the game of basketball.
Sweet, sweet. Now, your transition from college basketball to the pros. You know, the whole draft process.
How it's changed today.
And just how was it?
Yeah.
When you went through all that?
Well, for me, it was emotional. It was a great feeling because you accomplished something that you dreamed about all your life, but it also was a heavy burden because, again, 10 brothers and sisters. I'm the second oldest. You know, I wanted to make sure my brothers and sisters had, you know, what they needed. Make sure they all graduated from college if that's what they choose to do. One of my younger brothers started a record label for him, you know, and he did his thing. He's still doing music now to this day. One of my sisters moved to Atlanta, took her whole family out there. She's still in Atlanta to this day. So kind of having that impact on the lives of others and then understanding like now I'm the breadwinner for everybody, right? It's a fine line though. Because there's a lot of pressure in it, and then also when you have your own family that you got to take care of, it's a lot that goes with it, and you still got to get on the court and perform. So it takes a strong person, man, and I commend any athlete or any professional in that own right that takes care of theirs, man, and supports people because it's a lot. It's a lot.
Nice. Now, one thing I got to talk about the 2011 championship year with Dallas Mavericks. Tell me from the beginning, you know, the off season leading up into preseason, regular season, your thought process. And I heard about the tattoo.
No
Tell
doubt.
us about that.
I mean,
leading up.
For me, man, it just goes back to kind of my journey and watching some of my greatest role models and guys I wanted to emulate, watching their careers and seeing them, you know, have failure and then seeing them go through that failure, learn from it, work extremely hard, and then realize the ultimate success. And so watching guys like Magic and Jordan and, you know, Isaiah, it's just crazy because in 2005 and 6, like we're on our way to winning the championship in my second year in Dallas, you know, and you're up 2-0 and it's like, damn, we're about to be NBA champions, but you don't stay in the moment. So by not staying in the moment, the script flips, and now you looking at across the lines and you're seeing Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, Gary Payton, like Dwayne Wade. I mean, these is Hall of Famers. They fighting for the same. Pat Riley's over there. So you like, oh man, and we blew it. Like, so we blew our chance, but I never stopped because I remember Jordan getting to the playoffs, you know, getting knocked out by the Pistons, beat up. Then finally it was his time. And so, you know, drawing back on those experiences and then going up to 2011, like every year, like we thought we was going to get back and we never did. So when 2011 came around, we're in preseason training camp and it's like, okay, Tyson Chandler, Sean Marion, Jason Kidd, like these are Hall of Famers. Now I'm going to battle with almost a similar roster like Dwayne Wade had in Miami in 06, and it's like, okay, we the team. Then we had good role players like Deshaun Stevens, tough, Brian Cardinal, Pedro Stojakovic, Hall of Famer to me, JJ Barea. Like we had quality guys that starred in their role and understood who they were at that particular time in their career. Because a lot of times you can get on a team early in your professional career and guys are playing for contracts, guys trying to prove to their peers they want to make the All-Star game. And so the agenda is not always aligned. But you know as well as I do in sports, when one group of people come together for one collective goal, that's when the magic happens. That's how I won my high school championships. That's how I won my national championship. And that's how I ended up winning the NBA Finals. And it was because we all were all aligned. And it started early in preseason. We're at Deshaun Stevens' house, knock on the door, tattoo artist shows up. And D. Steve's like, man, look, y'all go get whatever tattoo you want. Everybody know D. Steve, like he got tats all in his face, everywhere. I mean, body, like he crazy with it. Me, I was a man of tattoos. Well, I liked it. So I was like, man, you know what? The talk all night had been, and everybody's there.
Yeah.
You know what I think Dirk was the only one not there. I think he was back at the gym. He was shooting. And the talk all night was championship. You know, it wasn't about nothing else. Oh, Karan Butler, my
Karan,
big brother. If he don't get hurt, we probably break the record for
Yeah.
most wins in the season because we was rolling.
Man, he's so
Man, he's one of my favorite teammates of all time. One of the realest dudes I ever played alongside of.
So you had a lot of guys that were hungry.
Yeah,
Hungry to
and
win a
thirsting for that
championship. Yes.
It's a difference than just being a team that everybody's talking about. That, you know, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're not expected to do nothing, but our inner belief in ourselves and our skill set as a unit was so strong. It didn't matter who we played that season. You know, so long story short, I got the tattoo tatted, showed it off at shoot around. They looking at me like, oh, the Jets crazy, this, that, and that. But no, it was my belief. Like, I believed, and I seen it because practices were like a championship fight every single game. It was like game 7. And when you prepare yourself like that, when you get to that moment, it's really easy.
Wow.
And so, man, for us, like, we wouldn't be denied. I know I didn't want to be denied. Dirk didn't want to be. But then you even had the city. You had Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban was so invested into that franchise, it literally tore this man down when we were up 2 and didn't win it.
Yes.
Like, I still have people come to me to today and it's like, man, we got 1, but man, y'all really should have had 2. Like,
of them, yes.
2 is different than 1.
Yes,
I'm gonna tell you that all day, especially when you're talking about championships. And so, you know, one of the greatest experiences in my life. It was the first time in my life that I seen my mother and father share a moment where they embraced, they hugged. I think they even gave each other a kiss, and it was because of me. And for me, when you're raised with 2 different households, like, it's just
that's a good feeling.
That's a good feeling.
Oh yeah,
And
that's just a great feeling.
Yeah, and it was on that stage too. Like, that to me was bigger than hoisting that trophy up. And so it was a good day.
So that, because you was a 6th man.
Yes, sir.
And that game y'all wanted to win that championship.
Yeah.
What was your mind? Because I know you had like 27 points.
Yep.
That game. Mm-hmm. Man, what was you? What was your mindset at to be in the zone like that in a big time game and big time moment like that?
Well, you gotta remember, I had to draw on my past experience, and that was being in the finals previously.
Yes.
Like, my first NBA Finals game, I had 30 points.
Yes.
I'm on my way to being the MVP, T-Mobile commercials and everything.
Yes.
Sidekick first came out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't stay in the moment.
Gotcha.
So at this particular time, like, stay in the moment, stay in the moment. I'm just locked in, stay in the moment. And the moment at that particular time was like, okay, we're getting off to a slow start. We cannot let these guys win this game because they got another game at their house. And realistically, you don't know what can happen in the game 7. We got to end this thing tonight. Every time I shoot, it's a kill shot. I'm shooting a kill. It's a game winner every single time. And so me just staying in the moment, staying locked in, and understanding like anything can happen in a series, man. Somebody could have sprung an ankle, you know what I mean, and been out.
Yes.
Like, anything. This shit could turn in an instant.
Yep.
And I didn't want that to happen. And so, you know, fortunately those shots failed. My teammates kept finding me. Like, people don't understand when you're a guard in this league and you're off guard and you're counting on somebody else to get you the ball, you don't have to like, hey man, give me the rock, or coach, you got to call a play. Like, Jason Kidd was literally the coach on the floor for us, Hall of Famer. People like, oh, well, he wasn't. I don't care what he wasn't. What he was for the Dallas Mavericks in that particular time, invaluable.
No,
like, he literally, Dirk will get all the praise, but Jason Kidd, Tyson Chandler, Sean Marion, like, all those guys, man, they were all MVPs.
Yes.
And man, it was
everybody
just,
knew their role.
They knew their role, man.
Everybody
they
knew
were
their role.
stars in their role. And, you know, playing with Dirk all those years, man, he's one of the greatest teammates I've ever played
Big
with.
time.
You know, because the one thing about Dirk was he had a lot of pressure on himself. And to alleviate that pressure, he had me. So a lot of times he expected me, like, if he didn't have it going, like Jet, where you at now?
Yeah.
You got to show up.
Yeah.
And he's counting on me to do that.
No doubt.
But the reason why he had confidence in me and could believe it is because them late nights where the cameras ain't on and we in the gym working, he at the other end working.
Yep.
And he see me. So, you know, that respect was there. And so, man, he's one of the greatest ever. Like, I've had some great,
Great stuff.
If I had drawn my career up
Yeah.
as, like this, how it should go, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Rondo, James Harden, like
You learn from
Giannis.
Yeah.
Like I done played with some Hall of Fame MVP
Oh, yeah.
players. Like I've been blessed.
Yes.
Like some players don't get that type of opportunity. And so for me, man, I always stay humble. Like I never like brag on my accomplishments, what I've done, because I always think there's more to give. And but I know I'm blessed. Like you know, God
That's
has
good
His
stuff.
favor. He has His hand on me.
Oh.
And now it's all about giving back.
Man, that's good stuff, man. Good stuff. You know, now, congratulations
Yep.
on being the head coach for the Grand Rapids G League team, which is a feeder from the Denver Nuggets.
Yes, sir.
What's your feeling about that? And, you know, how's that going to be venturing off into something you know, be your first time experience?
Yeah, tremendous opportunity. I always say, you know, when preparation meets opportunity, that's when the magic happens. You know, that's a quote from Nipsey Hussle. And so the opportunity's there. But management believes in me.
Yes.
Like they wouldn't have given me this opportunity had not they felt I could succeed and do the job.
Yeah.
Now, one thing about me and BV, you know this, like we want to win.
No doubt.
Like that's what drives me.
No doubt.
One thing that drives me more than anything is giving back, mentoring the next generation of hoopers, but also winning. Like there's just a special feeling you get to be able to hoist that trophy up and say
Yeah.
you're a champion. And so for me, when I go in here in year one, I'm not going to put any crazy expectations on us, but we expect to win.
Yes.
You know, and I expect to develop and mentor these young men on and off the court so that they can be successful in their lives.
That's good stuff. Man, Jason, man, I really appreciate you, you know, coaching my daughters with the Lady Jets. And just want to know how'd you start the Lady Jets? How'd you come up with the idea to do that? Because I heard you started even during while you were still playing currently in the NBA.
Yeah, no doubt. So in 2000, I think it was 7, my oldest daughter, Jaciana, she just graduated from TCU, was like, damn, I want to play basketball. I'm like, okay, well, we couldn't really find a team around the neighborhood. So she was like, well, we might as well start a team with her and a couple of her friends. They ran through the little league they were playing in, little PSA league. And so I was like, well, I used to play AAU. Y'all want to play? Like, it'd be something for me to do to hang out with my daughter in the summer and spend time with her. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. So the first year at AAU Nationals, we are in the barn burner. We're in the championship game.
Wow.
We
Sweet.
lose at the buzzer on the offensive. I'll never forget it. They called it the Arkansas Mavericks. So anytime I see the Mavericks, I know they still around.
Yep.
That's like a bitter rival for me. I still got that taste in my mouth. And but as a coach with your daughter and her being able to experience that, like they're all crying. The moms were crying. But it was that same AAU feeling I had when I was little. So I was like, man, this is so cool. And it took up my whole off season. I was still able to train, but I was coaching them and traveling around. Talking about 15-passenger van around the country, the whole 9. And so I was like, no, we're just gonna keep going till we win. The next year we take 4th. The next year I think we took like 6th or something. Then we ended up making to the semifinals again. But we never got back to the national championship game for like 8 years down the line. Then my second daughter started playing. She's a junior at Arizona State University. And so just coaching them, they ended up quit playing. And I just kept doing it because the program was still going strong. And then the lives that you were impacting along the way, you kept in contact with those young ladies. And seeing them go on to college was huge. Like a couple of girls I coached got drafted in the WNBA this year. One girl became a sports agent, Dorian Branch. Like the stories are just crazy.
So it goes on and on.
And it just keeps going. And now I have the opportunity to coach with you because I coached against you for so long. Seeing how you interacted with the kids, the relationships you had with the parents, like just having men in those particular positions of power and inspiring our young women, empowering them and helping them become, you know, student athletes at the highest level is all what I'm about. And so, you know, it's just been an honor working with you. Obviously, you have some daughters that are extremely talented. I wouldn't rule out WNBA for them if that's what they choose to do. But I know you're going to have college graduates. You already got one in college. Like, to me, that's the ultimate joy, the ultimate give back.
Man,
And you just, there's no greater feeling than inspiring someone and then watching them have success. There is none. And I think that's a drug that I always chase, and it's something that I'll stay connected to for the rest of my life.
And I want to appreciate you, and I really appreciate you coaching my daughters and giving them that knowledge, giving them that tutelage.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you too, man.
Yes, sir.
So we had, we had some good times. We're gonna have some more good times
We got
to
some good
come
times.
because my babies is young.
We're the national champions
You know,
right now, baby.
yeah, we won
I
that,
forgot to tell you that. We did finally
we
get
won
that.
we won that Adidas gauntlet.
We won that
baby.
thing.
We won
you
that
know?
Adidas gauntlet down in
So-
Alabama. It was sweet.
So we got
sweet
to
this year.
protect that crown, man, coming
Got
up
to.
this summer, you know.
Good stuff.
We might get one with the 16s and 17s.
No doubt.
You
No
know,
doubt.
that'll be a good goal. So, I'm excited about the future of the program. Like I said, when you have talented young women that are invested in their journey and in their careers, it makes it easy for us as coaches. So we got a good thing going.
Well, man, once again, Jason, man, we appreciate you coming in and sharing your time and spending your time with us. Know you're busy, and just want to say thanks
Yes, sir.
for coming here to Shimmy Moves Sports Talk. Coach BV.